morning, everybody. My name is Emily McKinley. I'm Deputy Chief with Louisville Metro Police Department. Again, this is going to be an exciting bi-weekly press conference for you all today, and I know you all get to take a field trip over to our real-time crime center, which is kind of one of our paramount units in our agency that really has contributed to a lot of the crime decrease that we've seen over the past year and many years. So as always, we will start with our crime numbers. So homicides this year continue to trend down. We're down 26% compared to this time last year when it comes to homicides. We have 94 homicides compared to 129 this time last year. Our non-fatal shootings are also down 25%. We have 229 non-fatal shootings compared to 304 this time last year. Carjackings continue to turn down tremendously, 34% decrease in carjackings compared to last year, 85 this year compared to 128 this time last year. And then business robberies are also down 17%, 43 business robberies this year compared to 52 last year. So again, we continue to see decreases in all of these categories and more. Property crime is also down, and other crimes are also down. And this is just one of the great work that the officers are doing, as well as our real-time crime center and all the analysts that contribute to that, which you'll hear more about that today. At this point, I'll turn it over to Mayor Craig Greenberg, who will talk about Connect Louisville and a new project and initiative that we are launching and trying to get more buy-in from our community.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Chief McKinley, and good morning, everyone. It's great to be with you all here today, and it's great to reflect on that progress that Deputy Chief McKinley just talked about. It's great progress, but it's not enough. We have to do more. We have to continue to take action to reduce violent crime, to improve public safety even more throughout Louisville. And that's why we're excited about this program that we're announcing today. We often get questions from people throughout the community, is how can they help with improving public safety? What can they do? People feel like they can't do anything. Well, now is the opportunity that business owners, that residents, people across the city can help. Safety will always be our number one priority at Metro government, to make sure that everyone in every neighborhood is safe and feels safe. And so as part of our work to continue to improve public safety, to reduce the violent crime even more, we're constantly looking for ways to innovate and to improve public safety. We've launched our Drone as First Responder program, our Video to 911 initiative, the new Lou Ready app, and so much more. And this new program, Connect Louisville, is another example of innovation that gives people an opportunity to help us improve public safety throughout our city. In addition to being a new piece of technology, it's a partnership with our community, built on trust, transparency, and shared responsibility. People don't have to wear a badge to help out, in this case, to help improve safety in their own neighborhood. This program empowers residents and business owners to use their own cameras to be a part of the solution. So whether you own a small business, whether you own a massive warehouse, or whether you're a resident that has a doorbell camera, your participation can make a big difference in helping us. This is how we build safer neighborhoods together without sacrificing your privacy. I'm proud of the collaboration that's happening between LMPD, our other city departments, and community members all across our city. We are practicing what we preach. We are putting this into action, helping to make our city safer. This is the way that we brought our city-owned parks and libraries into this network that you're seeing here today. So the city is part of this, and now we want people and business owners from all across the community to join us in. This is an incredibly important program that I'm excited for you to hear a lot more about. And I also just want to preview what Deputy Chief McKinley is going to talk about at the end of this press conference. And that is, you'll see our numbers on our new recruiting class. You'll see our call for even more recruits because we're getting ready to start again the process. We are so proud of the work that LMPD has been taking to improve its support for officers, to improve its efforts to attract and retain the best and the brightest. With our record raises that we've given to officers, with the Summit Wellness Center, that's a national model for supporting officers, you're seeing the progress in these numbers. You're going to see the progress on the streets of Louisville with more officers that are now joining LMPD. I'm incredibly proud of that effort, and I want to thank Chief Humphrey, Deputy Chief McKinley, the entire LMPD team for their efforts in this work. So now here to explain more about the Connect Louisville program, please join me in welcoming Assistant Chief Corey Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning to everyone who came out today. I'm Assistant Chief Corey Robinson. I'm over the Administrative Bureau for LMPD, and I'm happy that you all came out on such a rainy day. It's a gloomy day, but it's a good day for the city of Louisville because we get a chance to talk about a really good piece of innovation that we have that we think we're for certain that's going to help keep us all safer. As the mayor had mentioned, we do get asked often, how can we help? How can the community help? If I'm at the coffee shop, if I'm at the mall, wherever I'm at, folks will come up and say, thanks for your service, but what can I do to help? This is a very, very good way that you can help that takes minimal effort to do. It is I'm going to go to a different slide here so I can so y'all can keep up with some things that we have going on here. So this is yes. Feel free to take pictures if you need to on that one. So this is this program is a way that we can have the community get on board with us as a police department so that when we're responding to calls for service, it makes our officers more effective in their response time, it makes them more precise, and it makes our communication with that officer when they're coming on that scene just a lot more effective. As the slide shows here, we have 273 registered cameras and another 1,392 cameras that are integrated. Director Coram will explain more about the difference between the registered and integrated in just a moment. But in a nutshell, what that means is that we have 273 camera owners that have allowed us to use their cameras. That let us know that they have cameras, I should say, and then another nearly 1,400 that are connected to our system. But we do want more residents and business owners to join so they can help improve public safety, as the mayor mentioned a moment ago. So today's plea is for you to join this program so we can all help keep the community safer. We know that one of the questions that we get asked, I was trying to think how to phrase it. One of the questions that we get asked often is will our privacy be intruded upon? So we want you to know that your privacy does matter, and so we have taken that into account. And we only have access to camera footage in the event that criminal activity occurs or in the event of an emergency response. Another question that we get asked is who has the authorization to have the usage of the cameras, or who will have access to it. That will only be given to authorized public safety officials to have access to that footage. So hopefully that answers those two questions, because sometimes we get asked that on the back end. I do want to give a couple of examples of how the system has been used already to help improve public safety. And so I have two examples on here that have some screenshots of some incidents that happened that you all will be very, very familiar with. Back in May, we had a 10-year-old girl that was missing. She got off the school bus, and we didn't know where she was. You guys are probably very familiar with that. I'm a girl dad myself. When I heard that call come out, my first thought is, where are my own girls? And so I think we all had that thought and process. Well, we connected real-time crime, got with the Connect Louisville system, were able to locate the girl's path and trace her path, got her returned safely to her family, and it was an incident that turned out very, very well, and it was directly at the result of Connect Louisville. So it was a really good way for that system to help us with safety in that incident. Another incident was the first day that the Algonquin Park opened up the pool, and we had that critical incident that happened on that day. Shots were fired there on the day the pool opened. Couldn't have happened at a worse time on such a good day for the community. Connect Louisville was also very critical in getting footage that led to the arrests of that person as well. So the bottom line is that we do encourage the businesses and residents to join us. And in a moment, you'll see a QR code and a website where you can click on there and find out a way to join. It's very quick to join. It takes about 60 seconds to register, and we just hope that you will consider that as a community, and we look forward to staying connected with you so we can keep our partnership going and helping to do your part to keep the community safer. At this time, Jennifer Corum, who's our director of the Real-Time Crime Center, is going to come up and talk about a little bit more about it.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jennifer Corum. I'm the director of LMPD's Real-Time Crime Center. Connect Louisville gives you the power to protect your neighborhood on your terms. We have 2 levels of participation: integration and registration, both of which are voluntary and secure. Camera integration grants LMPD with access to shared live video feeds and limited recorded video. When businesses, organizations, educational institutions, and other similar agencies sign on, they determine what the access they want to share, what cameras are shared, when they're shared, and what video can be reviewed. While there is a fee for integration, doing so provides real-time support during critical incidents and emergencies. Regardless of how live camera feeds are shared with us, those feeds and any recorded video are only used for law enforcement and public safety purposes. Policies are being written for and the system allows for auditing of anything any LMPD employee does or looks at in the system. While many residents have home camera systems, we don't recommend that those cameras be shared live. Instead, camera registration is a great option for residents to help with local law enforcement to help keep the community safe. By completing the quick online form, you would provide your name, address, and contact information to LMPD. With that, we may contact you if a crime occurs nearby. Otherwise, your information won't be used or shared for anything but looking for recorded video. That's it. There's no fee, no live access. You're just telling LMPD that you have cameras and how to contact you in the event a criminal incident occurs near your residence. You also don't need to be a resident to participate. Businesses and other entities are welcome to provide the contact information for whomever in their structure oversees their video. As we stated before, businesses and residents are constantly asking how they can help LMPD help the community. Connect Louisville is an easy way. Anyone in Louisville with a camera can help with this mission. Today with us, we have representatives from Goodwill, Louisville Downtown Partnership, Greater Louisville Incorporated, who have all been instrumental in getting this program off the ground. Access to sign up for integration or registration can be done on the secure website, connectlouisvillemetro.org. The program, again, is completely voluntary, and we look forward to working with all of our partners throughout Louisville. Now I'd like to turn it back to Deputy Chief McKinley.
Thank you, Jennifer and Assistant Chief Robinson. Again, we've talked about community safety many times and how community safety is not just the police department's responsibility. We cannot do it alone. The mayor's Safe Louisville plan is a demonstration of that. It involves all of us working together, and that includes the community. Community is a part of this initiative of keeping all of us safe. We have to be collaborative, and Connect Louisville is one of the ways to do that. So, again, the website is connectlouisvillemetro.org. We encourage people to go there, learn a little bit more about the program, research it before you jump into it. But we encourage you to go there and check it out. Whether you want to register your camera, integrate with us, we're happy to answer questions as well on that. And there's a way to get a hold of us on that website as well. Another thing that we are always asked about in the community, not just how the community can help us, but how's recruitment going? And I can tell you recruitment is going fantastic. I mean, we started a class on Monday. We have 42 recruits in that class. There's 41 officers who are LMPD recruits, and there's one arson investigator for the Louisville Fire Department. We're scrolling through a few pictures here from the first day in the academy. So these recruits will spend 27 weeks in the classroom, so they're going to get paid to go to school, to work out, to get in the best shape of their life, to be the best police officers that they can be. And then they'll have 6 months in the field with the field training officer prior to being on their own as a police officer. We have another recruit class that's going to start in February. The application deadline for that class closes on November 17th. So if you're interested, get your applications in. We've had over 500 people apply to be a part of Max 66. And we've gone through a lot of training and testing for those applicants. We've dwindled that pool of 500 down to about 40 applicants that are still in the running for Max 66. And we still have several testing dates coming up after November 17th to get more in that pool. So hopefully that class will also be a class greater than 40. So recruitment's going well. Adding more officers to our ranks and adding more employees, professional staff employees, whether it's analysts in our real-time crime center or elsewhere in our department, is critical to community success and community safety, as well as finding ways for the community to integrate with us and provide tips and information to the police. So with that, I will open it up for questions.
About registration versus integration. Obviously, you're talking about people can just, it's kind of like you can give them a call, but then what is kind of the integration aspect?
I will answer the best I can, and if I'm wrong, I'll let Director Quorum step in. So registration, so questions about what is the difference between registration and integration. Registration, I can register my camera to let the police know, hey, at this address I have cameras. Here's my contact information. If something happens, here's how to get a hold of me to get footage of this area or this business. Integration would be, hey, I have cameras at my business, and I would like to integrate all of my cameras or some of my cameras, maybe just the front door or the back door, or maybe just the parking lot cameras, into LMPD's real-time crime center. In the event that something happens on my property, LMPD is able to get that call for service and integrate right into that camera and see that feed in live. So, is that right? Okay.
What does this expansion mean for LMPD? Does it mean faster response times?
It means faster communication with officers about what's going on. It means increased public safety. We want officers to have the best information that they can when they're responding to a run. When they're going to a call for service where there's a potential gunman or some sort of dangerous situation, we want officers to know what they're responding to. We want officers to know where victims might be, where suspects may have fled. We want to know officers to have descriptions of suspects, descriptions of vehicles, and all of that helps to provide that information.
Could you provide more details on how LMPD is going to get access to these cameras? And are we talking about like ring cameras, for example, or the security cameras that are up in the corners of buildings? How?
Yeah. So the question is details about how the integration works, how LMPD would get access to that, and does this include ring cameras? So first, I don't know all the technical stuff of how it works. I just know they just plug some stuff in and it works. But and we can see the feed. So I imagine there's some sort of high-level technical explanation of how that actually works. There's a piece of equipment that the business would receive. They call them a core, and it plugs into the camera system, and that sends a signal over to our real-time crime center to allow them that feed. I don't know how the fancy flow of that works. Somehow that works. And then as far as is it ring cameras, it's not necessarily ring cameras. It is security cameras. We do have a way to integrate with Ring, and that is a whole other system, but we do have a way to integrate with the Ring cameras.
Can you talk a little bit about the real-time crime center in general that these cameras are going to be integrated into? What capabilities does the real-time crime center have? What are the workers there doing? I guess just how does that work?
Jennifer, do you want to tell a little bit more about real-time crime center?
So the question was a little bit more about the Real-Time Crime Center and what we do. We are a 24/7 unit of professionally staffed analysts within LMPD, which means everyone that works in the center is either an intelligence analyst, criminal intelligence analyst, or a former criminal intelligence analyst, a former law enforcement analyst, myself included. We are there to provide as much information in real time as we can to officers as they're responding to a scene. Sometimes that means video, sometimes that just means information. So we have access to cameras and other resources, databases, things like that we can look at any time for a criminal purpose. Everything that we do requires a call for service or a case number. We are very, very strict about all of our technology, that it is used for criminal purposes only.
So Jennifer, if a business gives you permission to tap into their live feed camera outside their business, you can only go look at it if you suspect something's going on. Is that correct?
Yes.
There's
So
crimes being
yeah.
committed, or you get a report or something. You can't just like, oh, let's just see what's happening on Bardstown Road.
So the question is about how and when we can access cameras through Connect Louisville. The way that this works is the business owner or organization determines what kind of access we have. So there are businesses that have come on board that only want us to have access if there's a call for service at that location. And when that call for service occurs, it activates that camera feed. Others have pretty much said, anytime that you need this for a public safety purpose, utilize our cameras. So it's really up to the business owner, but we utilize cameras for public safety purposes only.
Could you dive into a little more detail about privacy concerns? Because there might be people who see this story and think, oh boy, Big Brother is coming down, they're coming into our home or our business. Could you talk about what happens after that data is accessed by LMPD, and then dive into what fail-safes, checks and balances are in place to be absolutely, positively, 100% sure this is not abused and it is not checked in when there isn't something happening?
So that was a multi-part, so I'm going to try to go piece by piece. So your first question was specifically about privacy and how we look at making sure that we're not violating the public's trust and privacy with that. And a part of that is with this system that the business owners, the residents, they tell us what they provide. We are only able to access whatever they provide us. But whenever it comes to things like LMPD cameras or metro cameras, those cameras are in public locations. So public sidewalks, public roadways, public parks, public buildings. They are not in private locations that would require something like a warrant. They're completely in public, and they are, I don't know how to phrase this without, we take privacy very seriously. I take privacy very seriously. We try to attempt to put in as many safeguards as possible to try to prevent anything from occurring. We have policies in place. For this particular program, we're in the process of getting policies written. So if you have any suggestions. But also, the system comes with auditing features so that we can go through and see what anyone in the system has done or looked at. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
And then to clarify for businesses and for, private homeowners who opt in, there is no cost?
For registration, there's no cost. For integration, there is a cost. That cost is for the core device that Deputy Chief McKinley mentioned.
What is that price, do you know?
So for a regular core, which they call a Core Pro, it's about $1,500 with a $900 yearly fee for up to 50 cameras. Anything larger than that requires a larger core and a higher price.
And so the businesses would pay that fee?
Yes.
Why should businesses want to pay that fee and be tapped in? What's your pitch?
She asked, why should businesses want to tap in? And I would say that public safety is something we should all care about. And not only businesses, residents, tourists, anyone. It's our community, and we want to keep it as safe as possible, and it takes everyone to do that.
Is that device like, I don't know, the size of an iPhone or a deck of cards?
Not this big.
Is this a situation, Jennifer, where kind of like those ADT signs you see out in people's yards, can a business owner join this program, have the camera outside the business, and a sign let the criminals know, hey, not only are you being watched, but you're being you could be watched live by LMPD.
Yes. So the question was, is there a way for businesses to have a sign available to let anyone know coming that they are sharing their access with LMPD? Yes, there is the possibility for signs for that.
So the privacy concerns, since they would be going through you guys, a public department, would they not be subject to, the video specifically, be subject to open records requests?
The question was about open records requests when it comes to video being shared with us. The video that is being shared is not our video. We are being given a live stream access to it. So unless it is extracted for a call for service or a case, it would then be put in as evidence and be part of that case file.
What businesses are in the program right now? Is it concentrated downtown, all over the city? Where's this happening?
We have partners throughout the city. Oh, sorry. The question is, what businesses do we have involved right now? I mentioned that we have Goodwill involved with a few of their locations. We've brought in our library systems. And then we have a few other businesses throughout all over Louisville. If you'd like, I can get you a list of those after.
Let's just do a couple more. Monroe, do you have anything? Go ahead, Roberta.
I have an unrelated question to this.
My question, kind of going back to the Big Brother thing, just to confirm for people who hear this and might be concerned, you cannot access people's cameras if they do not give you permission, correct?
Correct. So the question was, can we access someone's cameras without their permission? And the answer is no. We can only access if that business or organization gives us permission to view voluntarily their camera feeds.
I have an unrelated question to the security camera, so it'd probably be good for, there she is, hi, I didn't know where you were standing. So about, there was a Metro councilman who proposed a crackdown on illegal massage parlors and looking into that. LMPD is one of the agencies mentioned to help stop the businesses from a human trafficking standpoint. Can you just give us some comments on that and what's your all's role, I guess, in that?
Sure. The question was about Councilman Hudson's initiative with the illegal massage parlors and then the task force that was initiated. So yes, LMPD has officers that are participating with that task force, and you know, we work collectively with council on projects like this. And so anything that elevates community safety, I mean, illegal massage parlors, human trafficking, that is a great concern of ours. And so we're happy to be a part of that initiative by Councilman Hudson.
Roberto, bring us home.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I think Jennifer said that you all are still in the process of developing the policies around the specific Connect Louisville program. Can you just maybe explain a little bit about what those policies, once they're completed, will talk about and where you all are at in that process?
Sure. So the question was about policy development for Connect Louisville. So the policies would describe how the program works, who could get access to the cameras. Officers don't have access to our real-time crime center cameras, by the way. So there is a select group of people on LMPD who have access to real-time crime center cameras. That's the analysts that work in that center. They receive that footage and they communicate what they are viewing on that footage to officers that are responding. So we do not have a wide group of people that have access. So limiting access, how access is gained, how we audit access, those are things that would be included in policy.
And where are you all at in that? Hopefully have them soon.
Yeah, we're always working and drafting and updating policies. Those are posted on our website, and so once any updates to our policies are completed, those also additionally will be posted. But you could search our policy manual right now and find the Real-Time Crime Center policies.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and conclude. I know you guys have a lot of extra questions. Just send them to our office. We'll get you taken care of.
Thank you, guys.